B-Girl. Back in the day, way back in the 1970s, a new dance craze hit the streets, literally. Boys in the Bronx began hitting the ground when DJs played the break or instrumental section of different songs back to back. At the time, life in the Bronx was tough. The civil rights movement was over. And in a lot of mostly Black and Hispanic neighborhoods, not much had changed. Prices were rising fast. Jobs were disappearing. But out of those grim conditions came a dazzling new culture known as hip-hop. It was based on 4 fundamentals: street art, DJing, rapping, and the dynamic new form of dance called breaking. All you needed was a piece of cardboard, a section of sidewalk, and a boombox to draw a crowd. And that's how Ana Garcia got her first taste of breaking.
The very first time I saw breaking, it was amazing.
Ana was still just a kid growing up in Spanish Harlem, but she was hooked.
This person was like on his back and doing some weird stuff on his feet, and I never saw anything like that. But I was like, wow, he looks tough, and I like that.
From that moment on, she wanted to learn how to do it herself. Breaking was a dynamic art form that drew on a variety of sources. It incorporated tap in the fancy footwork, the acrobatics of a Brazilian martial arts form called capoeira, and the strength and agility of gymnastics. In the 80s, breaking broke out of New York. Hip-hop spread throughout the world and became a business worth billions of dollars. It was a great time for breaking. But for B-girls like Ana Garcia,
it was something that was happening, but I was not participating because it seemed like it was just for the guys.
And it certainly wasn't for proper Puerto Rican girls with old-school parents who thought dancing was something you did with your feet on the floor. But Ana refused to conform to anyone's expectations. She practiced on her own until she was ready to prove herself on the dance floor.
I wanted to show the guys that I could do the same thing that they were doing.
And she did. She was so good that a lot of B-boys were afraid to compete with her. And that's how she got her B-girl title.
That's where that name came from, Rockin' the Fellas, you know, Rockefeller.
Rockefeller and her crew started breaking on street corners for money. But eventually they were discovered and went from performing on sidewalks outside of theaters to performing on stages inside them, from New York to Beijing. When Rockefeller teamed up with veteran b-boy Quickstep in the 1990s, they started a hip-hop dance company and a school that would help propel breaking into the 21st century. Rockefeller led the way for scores of B-girls who followed in her footsteps.
When I first started to dance, people were really surprised to see a girl dance the way I did.
Today, not so much.
B-girls are warriors. When I dance, I'm representing women. That's always there. And so when you see me, think of what's possible in your life.